Hello everyone, my name is Eostrix. Welcome back if you've been here, and if you haven't, now you have. Welcome as well. Today I'm introducing my commander deck, Calling Cthulhu. After a proper 3 hours of brewing and never really deciding on a theme, we have a riff of essentially two precons smashed together unintentionally. So, who's the commander? Kadena, Slinking Sorcerer. Kadena is a 3/3 legendary creature Naga wizard for 1 black, green, blue that has 2 abilities. The first face down creature spell you cast each turn costs 3 less to cast, and whenever a face down creature enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. So, why Calling Cthulhu? The idea of this flavor over function deck is to go through some stages: mana, manifesting, and making the world end. And yes, this whole deck is themed around krakens, octopuses, and cosmic horrors, except for 2 cards. We'll go over those later. And there's no better way to get through these than to just get right into it, starting with subscribing. Joking out of the way, we have Manifesting. Cloud Form, enchantment that can protect the manifested card. Ethereal Ambush, manifest 2 cards for 5 mana, probably too much mana for that though. Ghastly Conscription, manifest all cards of an opponent's graveyard. Primordial Mist allows us 1 free manifest each of our end steps and ability to cast non-creature cards. Quasi High Priest, sacrifice a human to manifest a card. Scroll of Fate, manifest selectively from your hand. Deviant Amalgam, steal an opponent's card and manifest it. And Frighten a Being, scry 2 and put 1 on the bottom and manifest the other. Next we have Of Sacrifice. Ashnod's Altar, we're going to be making tokens, some useful, some not, so we can use this to turn them into mana. Baleful Mastery, Tasteful Removal. Doom Necromancer, Tasteful Recursion. And Grim Haruspex, Tasteful Card Draw. Now for the biggest chunk of this deck, Of the Deep. Rixmathes, Slumbering Isle, a creature of the deep that can make mana in the meantime. Brine Lane, the Moon Kraken, CMC 6 or more can bounce a creature. Captain Nagathrod, it's the one guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. Consuming Tide, a tide that bounces all the board. Grazlax, Illithid Scholar, seen in another deck you can see here. Gyarda, Doom of the Depths, it's a Kraken and steals a creature. Hullbreaker Horror, a personal favorite of mine, great control piece. Illithid Harvester / Plant Tadpoles, return cards to face down status, they're horrors. Monstrosity of the Lake, a brand new card, stuns all opponent's creatures. Deer Kraken, makes tentacles for Watcher of the Water. And as a whole, Primal Tide, a primal horror. Ominous Seas, where you would find Cthulhu, you'll find Krakens. Runo Stormkirk / Crothus of the Deep, a form of Cthulhu once he transforms. Shipbreaker Kraken, it's a Kraken. Slim Vodo, the Rising Deep, bounces all creatures other than merfolk, kraken, leviathans, octopus, and serpents. Use it wisely. Sludge Monster turns creatures into sludge, go figure. The Watcher in the Water, a really cool card that makes tentacles and stuns creatures. Thing in the Ice / Awoken Horror, on theme, board bounce. Trench Behemoth, on theme, goad. Uchalan, big creature, graveyard removal. And Rexiel, the Risen Deep, yoink an instant or sorcery card. Now that we have those of the deep, we have that of horror. Arvinox, the Mind Flail. Why have just horrors with the upside down when you can have them right set up on our board? Breach the Multiverse, what's worse than just having one cosmic entity when you can have them all? Guilt Feeder, easy drawing with the mill we have. Nemesis of Reason, I don't know, it's creepy and it mills and I don't want to stare at it longer than I have to. Ravenous Chupacabra, removal in its dog-like, so no downsides. Toxroller Corrosive, everybody hates it, so now it's a horror in 2 ways. And Umbra Sphere Manifest. Get it? Manifest. It's also horrifying. Now, while we're on the topic of theme. Cryptolith Rite, summoning takes a cult, and this gives you one. Cultist of the Absolute, you want a cult? Have one. Dollhouse of Horrors, we can bring in Monsters of Calamity for 1 mana, so yeah. Drown in the Lock, on theme, allows for some control. Elven Chorus, another summoning circle, weirdly common in Magic now. Endless Evil, these horrors won't leave, baby. Glimpse the Unthinkable, cosmic entities tend to melt the mind. Haunted One, you've been driven mad for a reason. Obscuring Aether, energy is essential in summoning the Lord of the Watery Abyss. Sonic Ritual, it's an instant or sorcery card or 2, probably really good ones. Secret Plans, helps to draw cards, you don't go social when summoning. Sign in Blood, gotta make a deal somehow. Thran Dynamo, taking heart to drive one mad. Trail of Mystery, ramp, 1 questions their descent. And Whisper Blood Liturgist, one who will sacrifice 2 for 1. Those you'd sacrifice everything to have, we have Of Calamity. Emrakul, the Promised End, it's promised for a reason. Omniscience, once cast, usually ends the game, but not always. And Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, the end is near, if not already happened. And now, the lands. Alchemist Refuge, Bad River, Breeding Pool, Command Tower, Contaminated Aquifer, Dark Depth, Dark Slick Shores, Dark Water Catacombs, Deathcap Glade, Dream Root Cascade, Haunted Mire, Drawer Isle Refuge, Morphic Pool, Myriad Landscape, Nephalia Drownyard, Opulent Palace, Overgrown Tomb, Path of Ancestry, Shipwrecked Marsh, Sunken Hollow, Takanuma Abandoned Mire, Tangled Islet, Temple of Deceit, Temple of Malady, Temple of Mystery, Vesuva, Westvale Abbey, Ormondale Profane Prince, 3 forests, 4 islands, and 3 swamps. And now for the last 2 cards that weren't on theme. Inga and Eska makes creatures into mana, and Zendikar Resurgent doubles mana from lands, draws cards from creatures entering. Now, while I know it isn't perfect by a long shot, I did have fun testing and making this deck. And because of this, if you have any recommendations for others passing by, please leave them in a comment below. See more of my deck tech, see the playlist here, and a video YouTube thinks you'll like beside it. Consider subscribing as well. See you next time. Goodbye.